What is up, my seafood friends, and welcome to r/AITA. I'm your host, Dr. Fishsticks, and AITA stands for Am I the A-hole? People post stories on this subreddit, and then Reddit decides whether they are in the wrong, or if the other person is in the wrong, or if everyone's in the wrong, or no one's in the wrong. Those are less common, though, so let's get into it. AITA. My parents are making me pay half my brother's rent, given that I live rent-free in their extra apartment. I'm living in my parents' extra apartment in the city. My brother is now moving here and he will have to pay rent on his place. Given that I live rent-free, my parents are making me pay half of his. I work for a bank and currently saving about 30% of my income. I can pay it, but I would have to resign some savings each month. The deal wasn't this when I first moved. The deal I made a year ago was to live here rent-free. I don't want to pay rent, so I'm refusing to pay half my brother's rent. Am I being the a-hole here, or are my parents changing the original arrangement? Now, I agree that you shouldn't have to pay for your brother's rent, but you should definitely have to pay for yours. I'm assuming you're an adult in this situation, otherwise that would be kind of strange. But, yeah, no, you should definitely have to pay. You should definitely have to pay rent. Because if you're living rent-free, who do you think is paying for the apartment you're living in? Your parents. So, they need money too. Also, side note, nobody wants to pay rent. You just have to. AITA for saying that I miss black people. I don't know what this could possibly mean. So let's get into it. I recently moved to Phoenix from Atlanta, and people will often ask me what I miss most from my home city. And my answer is that I miss black people and their influence. I said this at a get-together tonight, and although they were white like I am, they were upset that I was generalizing. I argued that black culture is very real and is freaking awesome, and is definitely something you will miss when you move from a city with a large population of black people to a city that is predominantly white. But I really do feel like Atlanta's black influence is what makes the city so special. I miss my black friends calling me out for my white tendencies, and I miss the food and the music and the bravery. Bravery? Okay, yeah, I read that right. I was confused for a second. I'm not sure if I'm off base or not. I can kind of see how an outsider would assume that I'm romanticizing black culture, but I don't really think this is the case. Am I off base, Reddit? Now, personally, I don't think you're the a-hole here. If you, do miss that culture, that's fine. If you, if you really like that culture and you miss it, that's cool. I don't know why all of these people got so offended at you saying they're generalizing, especially when they're not black, by your own admission. But I don't think you're the a-hole here, but that's not for me to decide. So if you're black and you're watching this, please give your opinion in the comments. I'd really like to hear what you have to say. Would I be the a-hole, which is what that stands for not responding to my boss on a weekend when it might be my fault we're behind on schedule? Yes, I know the title isn't all that interesting, but I wanted to know your guys' thoughts. You're lying. That's a lie. I thought this title was interesting. I, 23, graduated about 3 months ago and started my job as a lowly paid, little trained creative intern. I work for a small company, and I dare say there's no one more qualified than me in what I'm doing. I feel like I'm the one who has to give advice to my higher-ups on how to create better collaterals. It is said in the contract that I will work 8 hours a day, Monday to Friday. So yesterday, Friday, I sent in my work rather late, around 4 p.m. There were some comments, but nothing major that needed me to rework the entire thing. And then my boss, John, I don't know why I thought that would be read so hatefully, was supposed to create a supplementary graphic before uploading everything. I don't know what that means. I'm usually the one who does the uploading after receiving the graphic from John. The thing about John, he's very proud of the fact that he's a workaholic and works every single day. Every time we have a conversation about work, he likes to slip in the line, I don't know, I work every day. John sent the graphic this morning, Saturday, at 11 and tagged me in the chat. It's my company's way of saying, this is for you to act on. I didn't respond. At 12, he tagged me again. I know what he wants. He wants me to upload everything. I really don't want to do it. It's the weekends and it's my personal time. But part of me feels like I should do it because I sent the collaterals in quite late yesterday. It's usually uploaded on Fridays, but we've not been keeping the schedule well. So I'm at fault for the delay. Also, I'm in the media industry, which is notorious for not having a work-life balance. So I don't know if I'm being too unreasonable for being so inflexible with my working hours. Another side note, this week has been super hectic, so I was behind on my schedule. I told John this, and he told me to focus on this particular collateral over all others this week. But of course, it still ended up being a bit later than usual. I usually send it on Friday mornings or Thursday evenings, and we can get it up by Friday evening. Monday's a public holiday for us, so I will only go in on Tuesday. I'm technically free for the weekend, doing my own things. Honestly, I don't get paid enough to care. I don't even earn 4 figures a month. But I am neglecting my job, and thus the a-hole? P.S. I'm on the lookout for jobs with better opportunities, and will drop this like a hot potato the moment another accepts me. So, honestly, I'm kind of undecided on this one. You definitely do not get paid enough to care. Like, you get paid less than $1,000 a month. That's not a lot for like a full job. However, you did turn it in late, and you were supposed to focus on that, like, above all else. Honestly, I don't really know. What's your guys' thoughts? AITA for removing my uncle from my life. I only clicked on this one because the title made it sound like OP killed his uncle. I, male 21, hang out a lot with an uncle, male 22, that is the same age as me. A few days ago, my cousin with an extreme mental illness has had a serious incident due to her problems. My uncle found out today and was telling me that mental illness is made up, and back in the day, people were told to grow up and get over it. He also said that my cousin needs to be forced into the military because that'll fix it. I explained to him that back in the day, science and medicine wasn't enough to properly diagnose and treat mental illnesses. He argued with me for a while, and then I made him leave my house. I sent him a message and told him that I also suffer from these problems, as do millions of other people, and if he's going to pretend that it isn't real and be rude about it, then I want nothing to do with him. I explained that it is just as real as cancer or heart disease. I'm wondering if I'm justified in this, or if I overreacted. It makes me so incredibly mad when people act like mental illness is made up. Okay, so, a couple things about this. This story does seem like it might be fake, because it's very strange to listen to someone who's 22 talk about some stuff that was back in the day. Like, you were born in 1991. What days are you talking about? Also, how many people just don't believe in mental illnesses? Like, what? Autism, depression, anxiety, stuff like that? Are there people who just don't believe in that stuff? But no, if this story is real, I don't think you're the a-hole for wanting to set boundaries with someone who's clearly very ignorant about something that you and your cousin both suffer from. However, I think you are the a-hole for not calling like CPS if this person isn't dealing with his child's serious mental illnesses. AITA for dumping my friend's dinner into the trash. I really think I may be the a-hole for this, but I wanted to let a third party decide. So I, female 22, was invited to dinner by my friend, female 20, earlier this week. Me and this friend have been friends for a couple of years now, and she knows I'm vegan. She herself is an omnivore, but that's never bothered either of us. I don't know why it's so funny to hear a person be described as an omnivore. Like, I know it's objectively true, most people are omnivores, but I immediately think of dinosaurs when I hear that for some reason. Anyways, when we cooked for each other, I'd sometimes add meat or egg to her dishes since she likes it, and she'd make me a vegan dish while she enjoyed her meat dish. It's always been fine between us until now. I arrive on Tuesday night and see that she cooked us both grain bowls. She had meat in hers while mine was meat-free. We're sitting there, talking and enjoying our meals. I excuse myself to go to the bathroom after I eat about half. When I'm finished, I go back out. As soon as I take a bite, she starts laughing. I'm confused until the spice hits my tongue. She told me she put some hot sauce into my bowl, hoping to catch me off guard. I'm fine with this. I like spice, and to be honest, I thought it was a bit funny. Plus, I thought that the hot sauce gave it flavor. After I finish, she finally tells me the real reason she was laughing. She added some bacon bits to my bowl and added hot sauce to cover up the taste. She said that she did it to prove that I'm not actually vegan since I liked the meat. Huh? Okay. Here's where I think I may have been the a-hole. I took her bowl, which still had about half of her food on there, she's a slow eater, and dumped it into the trash can, plate and all. She basically yells what the frick and looks at me like I'm nuts. I called her a dumb bum for doing that, and she proved nothing. She then tells me to get out of her house, and I do. She texted me a few days later, saying that she wants an apology and money to cover costs of the food I threw away, because she even considers talking to me again. I didn't respond. On one hand, I think she's in the wrong for what she did, but on the other hand, I think I overreacted. First of all, what? She did not prove anything. I know you already said that, but she did not prove anything. A lot of people, like some people I understand could be vegans because they just don't like meat, but most people I don't think are. Like, what? Also, she tried to cover up the taste of the meat with the hot sauce. So obviously, you're not gonna taste the meat. That's what she was trying to do. So what did she prove? But if you couldn't tell, I do not think OP is the a-hole here. That's just, oh my god. But sadly, ladies and gents, that is all the time we have for today. If you like this video, press the like button. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, comment them down below. And if you really like this video and want to see more like it, please subscribe. That's all for today, so until the next video, goodbye.
I know it's my ADHD, cause I can't stop moving my feet. And I feel like popping and locking.